Hi everyone, this is Andrew and welcome back to another part in this repair of a Defiant MSH 546 radio. In my last video I mentioned I'd say something about the Defiant radio brand and how it came about. In the early 1930s, radio of course was booming in the United Kingdom as elsewhere. And there's a very large group of companies over here who do everything from banking to groceries, furniture. They used to do all sorts of things, called the Co-operative Society. It's a consumer cooperative group whose members get paid a dividend at the end of each year. Now, radio over here in the early years or radio production I should say, was controlled by a group of companies under the umbrella of the Radio Manufacturers Association. So all big companies, like anything from Echo to Pi to Murphy, were under this group. Actually, Pi's got quite an interesting story with the RMA, which I'll relate another day. So what the Radio Manufacturers Association did is maintain the retail price, i.e. these manufacturers would not sell or would not allow shops to sell their products under the manufacturer's recommended retail price. And that's something that continued over here until relatively recently. Now of course the Co-op wanted to sell radios in their stores. The Radio Manufacturers Association wouldn't sell them, and I'm not sure whether it was Plessey who contacted the Co-op or Co-op contacted Plessey, but an American, the son of the owner or co-owner of Plessey, an American called Alan Clark, managed to get the contract in late 1933 to start making radios for the Co-op. So in defiance of the Radio Manufacturers Association's refusal to sell the Co-op radios, they called the brand Defiant. And Plessey continued to make radios under the Defiant brand for the Co-op for several more years, until I think the 1960s. Plessey of course didn't make complete radios at that time, although they just started for another British company called Alba. But they made things like tuning capacitors and various bits and pieces. So quite an interesting story. You can obviously read more about it in books such as the Setmakers, which I'll show you here. This is the Setmakers. This is the story of British radio manufacturers and television manufacturers until, of course, most of them died. So quite a good book, this. Anyway, let's get back to the radio. One thing in my last video I thought wasn't too clear is what I was doing with the audio output transformer. What I was doing was seeing if it works. So I've got an extension speaker to the side. I'm going to clip one side of that extension speaker to one side of where the speaker lead comes off, and the other side to where the other speaker lead comes off. Of course, if you've been doing this a while, you'll know exactly what I'm doing here. But I just wanted to show anyone who's new to the hobby what I'm doing. Of course, the radio hasn't got any power applied. That's most important. I've got my meter set on resistance ranges. This is an AVO meter. Obviously, it's an analog meter. The needle will move as such. So I've got one side of the meter connected to the chassis, or just placed on the chassis. Got no connection there. There we have. So I've got. Let me just get a good earth. There we go. What I'm going to do is just touch one of the speaker, and you should get a rustling sound or scratching sound through the speaker, and that just makes sure the audio output transformer is okay. what I've done to this set since the last video is just given it a clean using a vacuum cleaner and a paintbrush. I've cleaned the scale up a little bit, not done much else. I've oiled the tuning capacitor bearings, because if I'm moving it up and down I don't want to put too much pressure on the dial string. Right, let's have a look let's have a look at the top first. This radio was not designed to be placed on a bench very easily. Right, I didn't see that too well. I might actually hold it up to the camera. So, as I was saying, the AC transformer, I think that's fine. Maybe the contacts in the power switch, it just needs a higher voltage through the switch just to clean some of the tarnish off. Higher voltage should burn off it. So the can's missing from here. This octal valve I've found has got the spigot missing. That's not a problem. I've got, you know, 2 or 3 more of these in stock. Make sure it goes back okay. There's a couple of top caps are fairly loose. I can just re-glue those. Tuning capacitor looks in great condition actually. Let's just close it, make sure I don't damage the vanes. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the top. A little bit of rust on it, but not too bad. Alright, let's have a look at the underneath. I shall swing the set around. Right. Hopefully it's not going to move too much. Put that bit of wire over the back. Right, as I thought, this blue electrolytic replaces the electrolytic can that was originally there. It's still got one original can here. Someone's been in here before and they've not done a very good job at all. It's not it's not good news at all. What they've done, if you can see this bit of wire here for a start, this is a little bit of wire and it's just been wrapped around this little bit of bus wire here. It's not soldered, it's just been wrapped tightly so I can move it. The end of the capacitor it goes to here has just been, I'll move that wire, that capacitor's been clipped off the tag and the wire has just been wrapped around it again. It moves, it's not good. And the next bit is this capacitor here has been clipped off the tag strip and the end has been pushed under the bus, this little bit of bus wire, and then I think the bus wire's been squeezed down and you can move the capacitor along there. Now someone's actually done that on purpose. It's not just found its way there. And I noticed there's a dry joint on the rectifier valve holder here. A little bit of wire's come off. Everything else looks okay actually. What's quite interesting to me is there's all sorts of bits and pieces in here. I guess being made just after the Second World War, there's various bits of war surplus in here. So we've got everything from cloth covered wire like this to bits of PVC covered wire, and we've got rubber covered wire here which has gone very hard and will need replacing. There's resistors that wouldn't look out of place in a pre-war radio, and we've got resistors that I think these are made by Erie that would continue through to well, 1970s. And you've got these big 2-watt resistors here, if you can see them very well. Let's turn these things here. And the rest of the set doesn't, or the rest of the components don't look in too bad condition actually. Not too bad. A little bit of rust on the back of the dial scale. So what I'm going to do is try and reform this capacitor. I think this one's dead, unfortunately. I'm going to give it a go. I've got a reformer that I built that it sticks out. I should have got it out actually before. Anyway, I won't get it out. No, I won't get it out. It's stuck in a drawer under my desk. That sticks out 250 or 350 volts. Current limited. So I'll try and reform this one at least, and then try and see if I can get a second-hand can to go in there. But yeah, it looks okay. I'm gonna try and tidy up some of these capacitors, and certainly I'll replace these two straight away because these look knackered, as we say over here. So yeah, next video, hopefully I'll have replaced some capacitors, and it might be one stage near to being powered up. See if I can move a light over here for a better view of the inside there. I'll just show you that. See if I can focus the camera again. That's not really working, is it? I'm going to swing it round. Yeah, not much better. Yeah, there's a capacitor that was, and there's the other one. So yeah, there we go. Okay, this is Andrew. I'll work on this radio tonight actually, so should post another video towards the end of the week or over next weekend. Okay, bye bye.